I'm Moist, TEMPHUiBIS here, and today it's a new Q&A, and I'm going to start off here with these questions right here. What do you think are the major differences, oops, sorry, by the way this is from Magnificent CR7. What do you think the major differences between American gamers and European gamers? I don't really think there's actually a difference, to be honest. Yeah, I think both the gamers are the same. They're usually mostly into the same stuff. A big situation these days is that they're all into more first-person shooters than others, and you've got a few of the gamers here who love retro games and love all different unique stuff that you see online and everything. That, you know, I think it's both the same gamers really. I'm not really sure. Second, I personally think Nintendo is going in the wrong direction with the Wii. They should stick with regular control and stop with the motion sensor controller. They should go back to their roots. What do you think? Well, I always say that the Wii was something new, something different. You know, you can't always keep doing the same thing all the time. But I do feel that there are some games on the Wii that, okay, you could have just had the classic controller control that. I mean, with like games like Wii Sports, WarioWare, those type of games, yeah, I can understand the Wiimote's a different thing. It's something to enjoy. But for a game like Mad World and Dangerous Creatures, you know, certain things could have just easily been done by a button. Especially Super Mario Brothers Wii. You know, you play normally in Infinite, yeah? Then you do this with the Wii to do a spin. I'm like, sometimes that's a bit over the top, really. But it's good, yeah, that they do have it. It's a good thing that they have done it, you know, something different. And Zayed12 asks, what portable gaming device do you think will be better? The NGP or the 3DS? The thing is, right, at the moment, I'm not really sure. I mean, I have not seen any of them. The thing is, I'm still not really 100% here that the 3DS is going to be true 3D. I'm not sure. Is it really going to be like 3D? Is it really going to give me the effect that I got when watching Avatar in 3D and watching Tron in 3D? Will I see the actual 3D-ness? You know, I know they're trying to make it without the glasses, but I'm thinking, can they really do that now? I don't know. And with the NGP, I'm not really too sure about the fact it's got a touch screen at the front and at the back. Like, I don't know really. It's not really. I need to see a bit more on them first before I can actually make something about it first. In an all-out battle, who do you think would win? Helghast from Killzone or Chimera from Resistance? I don't even know who any of these guys are. I played Resistance, but I never heard the name Chimera in there. I don't really play first-person shooter games, really. They're not my scene. Striker92 asks, in retrospect, as an avid fan of the Mega Drive, what stops you personally from getting a Sega Saturn? I think at the time when I saw the Sega Saturn coming out, when I saw the Sega Saturn out, I was looking at some of the games, and there were, I think, a couple of games that I liked, but then not really much I saw. Because with the Mega Drive, the games I used to love, yeah, were like Streets of Rage, you know, all the Sonic stuff, and Golden Axe. I wasn't seeing any of those on the Sega Saturn. Then when the PlayStation came out, I saw reviews on Tomb Raider, Tekken. I played Track and Field in my game store, and I said, you know what, I've got to get a PlayStation. It's all about PlayStation for me. So I think that's sadly what made me came off the Saturn. And second, what do you think was the main incentive that provoked Namco in finally announcing Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and had ignored several opportunities to make the game beforehand? So far, I think the main incentive is that they probably realised no one was loving Tekken 6. I know a lot of people like Tekken 5 but don't like Tekken 6 because of the combo thing they made up in Tekken 6. but then you got people who are just clearly just bored of Tekken. They just don't like Tekken, and then fans have been asking for Tekken Tag for a long while. I've heard that the reason why Tekken Tag Tournament's coming out now is because they're following some pattern thing, like, oh, Tekken 1, 2, 3, then Tag came out, so it'll be 4, 5, 6, then Tag 2 will come out. I feel that's kind of dumb personally, and then I hear that, oh, Tekken Tag Tournament 1 came out, you know, like near the early 2000s, so Tekken Tag Tournament 2 comes out early 2010s. It's kind of, it's all weird stuff really. But I just think it's just the fact that everyone's getting off Tekken. And question here from he was wondering, who's your three favourite UFC fighters? You don't have to put them in order if you find it too tricky. Diego Sanchez, you know, he's one of the, he's never in a boring fight. He's one of these fighters here who always can bring some brilliant, bring something brilliant to the table. Every time he fights, there's always something in there, yeah, that's always put in a Showtime reel. And John Bones Jones, I think he's definitely one of my favourites. You know, his wrestling is absolutely terrific, yeah, and his striking is just out of nowhere stuff. You know, it's really all cool. I know people are just saying he's a cheap fighter because he's got the longest reach and he just has long limbs and stuff, but I think it's a bit, well, it's not like he just made himself have long limbs. That's what he's got, so the fighters have to deal with it. And third fighter, I'm definitely going to have to say Jose Aldo. 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. And Jose Aldo, yeah, is also a terrific fighter, yeah. I've watched, when I saw the match again between him and Uriah Faber, he was just like, what? Wow, he was just a fantastic fighter right there. Then I would decide to watch his past matches, and I'm thinking, I'm just thinking, if you're one of these mixed martial art fans, yeah, who only want to see striking and grappling, and you're not really much of a mixed martial arts fan, yeah, but if you are, then Jose Aldo would be one of your best fighters. That's one thing I've got to say. He's definitely a perfect fighter there. Mr. Grimes, the anti-hero, asks, what are your good and bad points about living in the UK? Good points about living in the UK, at the moment I can't think of any good points. The bad points is, I think, it's very stereotyped down here. I think it's very simple-minded, and there's a lot of homophobia going around. Yeah, most people cuss things and that, and then there's always these people who just do simple-minded things, and you know, certain things that ruins things for other people. Got certain bad things here and there, really. Just those are my bad points, really. Just these certain reasons why I always want to move out of the UK, to be very honest. Good points, I could say the good points is it's where all my friends live. And second, would you be interested in going to any UK MMA matches, or do you just prefer UFC? I would be kind of interested to go to some other MMA matches. In fact, I actually wanted to go to the BA MMA to see Paul Daly fight, because Paul Daly is a fantastic fighter, and I don't just prefer UFC. I do prefer Strikeforce as well, but unfortunately Strikeforce don't play in the UK. That's why I don't know much about Strikeforce yet. You know, they need, all the other organisations need to start bringing their thing to the UK TV more. You know what I mean? No one's going to be following it if they can't follow it. And Deal Chemist 720 asks, what are something what are some of the things you're looking forward to seeing in the new Mortal Kombat game? To be very honest, I'm looking forward to the fatalities and everything like that, but I'm just looking forward to just the gameplay. I just think it's going to be terrific gameplay. It's going to feel just like the good old times of Mortal Kombat. They're bringing the pure hardcore gore back in. I think it's going to be absolutely freaking terrific. So I can't wait. I'm ready for this Mortal Kombat. Second, when you're working on animations, music videos, do you have a lot of pre-production scripts, storyboards, etc., or do you just gun it and start off from the top of your head? Either way, why? Sometimes, yeah, I could go from the top of my head, but mostly I do scripts sometimes. I mean, with the Pulsarific Current video, I must have had at least the first 100 bars scripted down, but the rest was all done off the bat. You know what I mean? And when I make a character, I always have a story behind the character all the time before I make anything about him. And when I want to, and I've written down so many scripts already. Sadly, some of these things I've never actually taken off, and I've actually done them. But I have written down loads of scripts already. You know, in fact, I was in the middle of writing one. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do a lot of scripts. And I do a lot of pre-planning and a lot of background about if I'm doing a character or whatever. So it is a terrific thing. And BBoy Agent Tekken asks, so when are you going to do a full video of your thoughts about the Tekken movie since you haven't done it yet? I'll do it next. I wasn't really planning to do a Tekken movie review due to the fact that Storms Inc. already did one, and he sort of nailed down everything already. He basically said exactly what I was thinking. Really, I wasn't really gonna do it. Really, I mean, I was just letting people know that I was disappointed. But I thought, all right, I'll do one. It'll be next. My next video is going to be the Tekken movie review. And second, what's your favourite snack to eat and drink while watching movies, and why? Favourite snack to watch a movie is a hot dog or a hamburger, but it's usually a hot dog because most cinemas don't usually have the hamburgers, and I enjoy eating those because it just feels like you've got to eat something warm. I mean, sometimes when you're watching a film in your house, yeah, while eating, it's usually a plate in your hand, so you obviously got to look down, scoop up what you're taking, and sometimes, you know, it takes your eyes off the TV and everything like that. Yeah, with a hot dog, it's simple as that. So you can watch the film without really being too interrupted with everything. And now we're moving on to Stan Profile. He asks, have you played Silent Hill, Battlefield and Uncharted? I've played Uncharted. It's not my type of game. Battlefield's not my type of game either. Well, Uncharted is my type of game in a sense, but I've kind of got a bit off platform games. Kind of got off them, really. Just got so many other games to play that's probably why I haven't got into Uncharted as much. Otherwise, I'll just crowd myself with games. Silent Hill, definitely played Silent Hill. Had Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I want to get the ones for the Wii as well. They're all terrific, man. And second, have you seen The Thing by John Carpenter? Never heard of it, unfortunately. Sorry. The only thing I know is The Thing from Fantastic Four. JSJ07 asks, what happened to We Play Synth? Wasn't that a group with you and NSG? Yeah, it was, but NSG's in Indonesia right now, and he's been there for the past 2 months. And I don't even know when he's coming home. I think he's coming home at the end of February. I don't know if he still wants to do it with me, because right now he's doing his thing with his group NSG Star, and they're working big right now. They're making themselves massive, and they're getting bigger. And I think NSG wants to really promote them as much as they can. So I'm sure he'll come back here to We Play Synth. He's not going to just leave me behind like that. But at the moment it's out of pause. We got first song done already. I've got the plans for the second song done, so you know, it's going to be a cool thing. We've got to try and do a lot with that. Are there any current mainstream artists that you don't like, e.g. Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, etc.? there's no one I do not like, really. I mean, well, I don't even know who Bruno Mars is. I don't hate Justin Bieber at all. I think the hate on Justin Bieber is just totally uncalled for. I just think it's just totally ridiculous. I'm subscribed to him. He subscribed to me. You know, I've got nothing against Justin Bieber. You know, I saw him way before he even made it big, and I predicted he was going to make it big. I didn't think there was going to be this much hate on him, though. And for other, there's actually no one I hate, really. I know that Ray William Johnson's another person that no one likes. Me personally, it's not that I don't like him. I don't like his videos. They're not funny to me, but I don't hate him. I know that he's just taking things from other sources, but he's not the only one who does that. Loads of people do that. But nah, there's nothing mainstream artists that I hate. Hizzlecrift, hey man, have you ever looked into getting an iPad for making music? There's so many awesome apps from big companies that some that emulate really expensive hardware for cheap. I've actually been looking at some of the videos that you sent me, and I think, yeah, I reckon an iPad, yeah, would actually be cool. It's probably a lot of money to get though. At the moment, I'm still getting money. I'm still saving money, yeah, for other big programs at the moment. So the iPad would probably have to wait till after those. But I see what you're saying. It does have some damn good apps, especially of some Korg consoles as well, like, you know, keyboards or something, not consoles. And Yusuf's blog, wait, was that another one? No, yeah. Yusuf's blog asks, when are you going to review the Karate Kid? I wasn't actually planning to. Did I say I was going to review the Karate Kid? And personally, Karate Kid, I use that term loosely. Personally, I wasn't really planning to review that, really. To me, the film's just a flop, simple as. That's all I got to say. Have you watched Yip Man, and what do you think of it? Fantastic martial arts. He's taken Wing Chun to the next level. Donnie Yen is a fantastic actor, and he's a fantastic martial artist. And Yip Man 2 was also fantastic. I think the first one is actually better, and the Wing Chun in the film, terrific. I did Wing Chun for a year, and seeing that just makes me want to go back to it. But I ain't got the drive for it though. It's really hard. So it's just more mouth than action, that situation. And classic combat. If Tony Jaa had a chance for a fight in the octagon, who would you like to see him go up against? Since he's a bantamweight, I can't say anyone like George St. Pierre. I can't say Brock Lesnar, because obviously that, unless the UFC was going to go back to the old UFC roots where there was no weight classes. I can see Tony Jaa at least moving up one weight class, so he'll be in a featherweight, and that would mean he'll face Jose Aldo. If you got Tony Jaa versus Jose Aldo, that'll be a match that'll make millions. I don't know if it'll be bigger than Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre. That's the match that every mixed martial arts fan is wanting right now. But it would be a big match. And second, I was lucky to get a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 this Tuesday. You just put Marvel 3. And had some time to practice and pick a good team, which is Akuma, Chris Redfield and Iron Man. Any ideas of who you're looking forward to play with? There are so many great characters. My cousin's leaked copies of it already, and I've played it already, and my characters are Amaterasu, Hulk and Mike Hagar. But sooner or later there's going to be a DLC of Shimogorath, and I might use Shimogorath again because I used him in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And at the moment those characters are giving me an edge at the moment, so I'm enjoying it. And Jason Moore 87, would you choose to become deaf and blind if it would give humanity a cure for cancer and most infections? Yeah, I would choose to become deaf and blind, but if I was also deaf and blind, I'd wish to kill myself, to be very honest. I mean, I would give myself up, yeah, to help the whole world, yeah. But one thing I would never, ever want to be is blind. I never want to be blind. That means no more UFC for me, no more games for me. How the hell will I make music? How the hell will I make animation? My life would be fucked. I mean, the only thing I'd be able to do if I was blind is just be a blinded piano player. That's it. But I want to make music as well. And second, what do you consider your best music 3000 track? Pulse Rhythmic Current. You know, that was the track, yeah, that I made on there, that, you know, just where everything just went nice and beautifully smooth. I enjoyed making the track so much, and I'm glad how the track came out. Fair enough, yeah, the vocals wasn't done with Music 3000. I used Acid Pro to get the vocals on there, but still the whole tune, the actual instruments of the tune were all from Commodore and sort of stuff, yeah, but it was all sequenced on Music 3000. So yeah, that's my best Music 3000 track. And I, for Gani, gave me a link to something called the Pain Pack, and if you want to know what that's about, I put the link next to his name in the info down below. He wants to know what do I think about this Pain Pack, and I think it's an interesting idea. Very brilliant to turn people's stress and pain and make something good out of it. You know, make songs out of it and make people feel great out of it and stuff. You know what? I've even downloaded the Pain Pack myself. I feel like I might actually do something and remix some of the painful things on there as well, and make it into something positive. Very, very good idea. So that's how I think of it. So that's all the questions for the Q&A, guys. And the next video I promise will be my thoughts on the Tekken movie. I'll give full thoughts and that of everything that I remember. Personally, it was a bit of time since I watched it, but yeah, I'll give my thoughts on it. Well, that's all I got to say, guys. Thanks very much. I'll see you all later. Love who you are.